Every great story starts with fire. Kia ora and welcome to Low and Slow Aotearoa, the podcast where fire meets flavour, stories rise with the smoke, and we celebrate the slow, smoky side of New Zealand life. I'm Ruben. Grab a seat by the pit. You're in good company here. I nearly quit Low and Slow over one cook. Not because the meat was unedible, not because the fire went out, but because I'd built it up in my head. My dad had come around to help me cut down some trees and branches and things. Big job, long day. And I wanted to say thanks properly. So I said, Dad, you come round, I'll smoke you up some meat for the first time. We'll have a cold beer, and I'll put on a choice feed for you. You'll see. So I fired up the smoker thinking, yeah, I got this, no worries. And somewhere between confidence and cockiness, I lost it. And slicing into that meat, it felt heavier than it should have. In the last episode, I did mention that a time that I screwed up royally when I did the meat candy. Dry, terrible. Nah, wasn't right. Everything was going wrong. When I'd finished recording and I listened to it back, I actually realised that there's a worse story. Everyone's going to have a couple bad stories, but I realised I had another one that was far worse than that. Because it kind of hit more emotionally than just, oh, I screwed up. So I think that hit a bit deeper. This wasn't just another cook. Something that I was doing for myself or whatever. I was actually cooking something for my dad. I'd asked him, hey, I can't chop these trees down. If you do that, I'll put some meat on the smoker and you can try what I've been doing lately. By that stage, I'd been doing it about 2, maybe 2.5 years. So I thought, yep, no worries. I'll chuck on some meat, no problem. And that's where it all kind of went. It just all went shit. While he's working out there hard, I'm trying to work here and cook this meat. Unfortunately, I did something that I've never done before. And that's where it all went wrong. I didn't research it enough. I didn't think. I just didn't think. My ego got too much in the way. This was meant to be a thank you. As a show of appreciation, a show of gratitude, really, for doing this hard mahi, you know. And even just thinking about it now makes me feel really bad. He took time out of his weekend, took a whole Saturday, came round to help me. I wanted to nail it. I wanted to make this the best thing my dad's ever had. And I thought, nah, I felt confident. Going into it, I was like, nah, I got this. Like, I've seen how to do it. What was I trying to smoke up? Pork belly. Yeah, I wanted it to have that crispy crackling on top. I wanted it to have the best smoke. None of it hit. Of course it had smoke. And I used oak, so it was more mild for the white meat. But the fire wasn't going too great. I was using a new smoker that I'd gotten. Somebody had made this as a project, and I thought this would be great for me. It's a bit higher up because I'm taller. It's a bit smaller, the cook chamber. I don't have to use as much fuel. It's perfect. It was on wheels too. And I don't have to pull out a big old Black Betty, to just smoke up something small for myself or for someone else. End of the day, I wanted to impress my father. It's not hard to admit now, but I got cocky. I thought I knew what I was doing. I knew how to control the temp of my smoker. Maybe rushed into it a bit without doing enough research. Which I did a little bit. Like, I checked videos and recipes and things. But then after, like, looking back on it now, I'm realizing after seeing some other videos and some other tutorials, from what I gather, you season the meat, like the bottom of it, the sides. But on the top, that fat layer, cover it in salt. And I'm not talking like heavily, I'm talking like a good centimetre of like a thick layer of salt, because that salt will draw out all the moisture in the fat, and that'll help get it more crispy. Put it on your smoker, let it cook hard for a couple of hours, then you'll see that crusty layer of salt start to kind of brown and turn really dry. Boom, that's what you want. Scrape all that salt off. If you've got enough smoke in there, you could even put it in the oven, put it on grill, and grill that top, because now it's all dry, and that's how you get that crispy crackling. But don't take what I'm saying step by step. Research it. I still haven't attempted to try it again. I'll admit the pork belly's kind of put me off. I'll go back to it. I definitely got to try it again. But you know, when you have one bad experience about something, you never want to do it again. You go on a roller coaster when you're like way too young. You're like, nah, never going on a roller coaster again. They scare the shit out of me. That's what it kind of is for me. I'm not scared to do it again. I'll do it in my own time. I won't do it for anybody, and I'll get to it eventually. Maybe I ignored the warning signs of this doesn't look like it did in the video. This doesn't look like how it was meant to. Hey, isn't that fat meant to be crispy by now? Yeah, I ignored all that because I thought I had it by then. No, you don't. No, you don't, young Ruben. I think the moment I realized it wasn't really tracking was, yeah, that fat wasn't getting all crispy. It was still kind of gooey. It was still rendering. And I realized that's not what it's meant to do. Why isn't that not getting crispy? Afterwards, yeah, realized, I missed a couple steps. That sinking feeling you get when you know this ain't right. Nah, I can't serve this. In my gut, I knew he's not gonna like this. I don't like this. I can already tell I'm not gonna like this. Even cutting it as I was slicing it up, just from the cut before tasting it, I knew that this was not right. I still carried it on. I still just let it be. Well, I've done it now. What am I going to do? Chuck it out? It still had smoke. It still had a bit of texture, but it didn't go the right way. Not only did the crackling not crackle, but the fire had gone down a bit as I went to go help him. That's what you get with offsets. But you also get really good flavour from offsets, so I'm still trying to keep on with that. I like offsets. It's kind of weird to say out loud, but it was almost embarrassing. Like, I was embarrassed of myself for doing this. Not just ruining the meat, but feeling like I let him down. I brought him around, I promised him some beautiful smoked meat, nice lunch, sit down, cold drink, beautiful meal, and I let him down. And as a kid, we always want to impress our parents. My dad will always be proud of me no matter what. And he'll always say the nicest things. And maybe it is really good. Maybe he did enjoy it. But in your heart, nah, this wasn't good enough. I shouldn't have given this to you. Because he'd just done some hard mahi. He'd just been cutting down trees and shrubs and bushes and stuff. And I wanted it to be a proper thank you. Not just, hey, I cooked up some steaks, here's some lunch. Nah, I wanted to show my real appreciation by smoking up some meat just for him and me, father and son sharing a meal. And that pride of serving my old man something really good. That's what I wanted to feel. So I guess pride also got in the way. It wasn't the worst thing I'd ever done. I'll put it that way. But slicing it up, oh man, every cut I did was like a dagger to the heart. This is not good. Cut. This is terrible. Cut. Why are you still going to serve this to him? I don't think he actually cared. I think he just appreciated the gratitude that I was trying to show him just hey, thank you. Here's a meal. And that's a classic Kiwi thing to do as well. Even though if you like offer them like, oh, I'll pay you for your time, pay you for your time. No, 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 it's all good. No, no, don't pay me for that. Nah, just come around to help you. Just come around to help. You still want to show some sort of appreciation. So, okay, you don't want money? I'll give you some food. Give you a box of beers. See, I should have just did that. I should have just given him a box of beers. He would have been happy with that. Can't screw that up. But I challenged myself and I wanted to show him real appreciation. Yeah, anybody can buy a box of beers and they'll probably be grateful for it. But cooking something, taking time and effort and putting all this into it, that really shows that you cared, that he came and helped me out around the house. End of the day, it was my own pressure. I wanted to show him what I had been working on, this new hobby that I've been doing. Look, Dad, look what I can do. Like a kid again. Like going back to those days when you ride your bike for the first time. Dad, look at me, look at me. It was kind of the same thing, like, hey, Dad, look what I did. Look, I cooked this up. It took hours. I had to make sure to get the right temperature and the fire had to be right. Look what I did. That's always going to be a thing, I reckon. It's always trying to impress your parents, even when you get older. You still want to kind of impress them. I feel that way anyway. Always want to make sure they're proud of me. Trying to do my best. I just hadn't done my best, so I felt like I let them down. I'll admit, it hit hard. A key thing that I realised then is that barbecue isn't just food for you anymore. What I had been doing before was just cooking meat for myself, trialing things, different flavours, because I know I'm going to eat this, and I'm like, coat it in this rub, I like quite a bit of garlic. For me, it becomes part of your identity. It's a hobby, and a hobby becomes part of your identity. So when you find out that people are really into something, that becomes part of them. And when you screw up of something that becomes a part of you, it hits hard. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Whether it's barbecue or another hobby, it becomes a part of your identity. It becomes a part of who you are. And when you mess up, it hits. It doesn't hit your ego as such. It hits somewhere deeper. When it goes wrong like that, it feels way more personal than it should be. Because everyone knows you for doing this. A hobby is like a job, but something you really like. And you should be good at it. So when you're not good at it, it hits. The main thing is I wanted to show my progress to my old man. To say, look where I've come. Look, I've been doing this for a while. I've done my research. I've put in the hard yards. Look what I can do. I wanted to show my progress. And that was not progress. That was almost reverse progress. I wanted approval from my old man. Every guy wants approval from his dad for what he's doing. I know in my heart that my dad is proud of me. What I realized after that, though, after that big hit, and I didn't smoke anything for a while after that actually, is that my dad probably just appreciated the effort. Damn, son, you cooked this for how long? Jeez, thank you, this is great. But obviously we're harder on ourselves than anyone else ever will be. Especially myself. I can cook something up, serve it, everyone will bloody love it. But I'll nitpick it and go, nah, that smoked wing's not good enough. And everyone's like, no, it's really good. Nah, it's not. And you know when it's good. It took me so many attempts at doing a brisket before I got it right, before it got right to my standards. Which is where low and slow exposes ego pretty fast. If you've got a big ego, low and slow barbecue will knock you down. And honestly, I think I need it. Sometimes I do have a bit of I think I do have a bit of an ego. My wife will say, a bit? Yeah, okay. I do have a bit of an ego from time to time. Which makes me realise that when I went to the competition and seeing all these guys and how I said a couple of episodes ago that, I didn't see anybody with an ego, everyone's there to help each other. It's because half of them probably did have a big ego. When you start doing low and slow cooking, it probably cut them down. Kendrick Lamar said it best. Be humble. Sit down, be humble. Straight up, man. Those are some wise words. It took me a while to realize, but gratitude doesn't require perfection. The cook didn't ruin the meaning behind it. Maybe the point wasn't the meat. It wasn't about the pork belly. Maybe it was just about showing up. Yeah, he was still thankful for what I did for him. Once again, it comes back to failure is just a part of cooking. It was just that cook took me for a bit of a spin and knocked me back a bit, but it also made me realize, what did you do wrong? You didn't do your research, you didn't have a recipe, you went head first, didn't have a plan. Failure is a part of life. You're always going to fail at something you haven't done before. So from now on, if I'm ever cooking something for someone, to say thank you or for a feed, I cook brisket. Because I haven't mastered anything else yet. I've mastered the brisket, boom, that's in the bag, can do that in my sleep. Humility is also a part of growth. To be humble and realize, look, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to check my ego at the door, and you grow from that. And that's where I see all these guys on the Facebook pages, on YouTube, in person. They're not bad guys at all. They all have had bad cooks that have really humbled themselves, and they've become great cooks. Hell, if you quit every time you're embarrassed, you never build anything. If I quit the first time I smoked a single chicken breast, I wouldn't be where I am today. Talking with you about this, helping others along their journey. This hobby is bigger than one bad slice. There's always redemption. And you know what I did? For Father's Day last year, went round and I cooked a whole brisket just for him. That was it. I redeemed myself. I took what I had failed at. I learnt from my mistakes. I took that failure, and instead of letting it eat at me too much, I built on it. Fix it, do better. And yeah, he loved it. Dad knows that I can smoke meat now. Okay, I'm happy. I'm good. Looking back on it, the cook wasn't the failure I thought it was. The meat didn't define the moment. The effort did. Dad didn't care about smoke ring depth or the tenderness scores. It was alright. It wasn't too bad. But he showed up to help his son. And I showed up to cook for him. That was the biggest takeaway. Was the showing up. Low and slow will humble you. It'll check your ego really fast. But maybe that's the point. It's not about perfect brisket. It's about showing up. Even when it doesn't go perfectly. That was a pretty heavy episode. If this resonates with you though, hit follow and be part of building Kiwi barbecue properly. Always remember, keep it low, keep it slow. Catch ya.